Do you have any pain? Would you like to move better? Would you like to look better, feel better, and live longer? Well, guess what? We may have a relatively easy solution for you. I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, wellness transformation expert, and today we're going to talk about fascia, the link really between whole body health and fascia health, and certainly fascia and chronic pain, and other things which are not so fun, like cellulite. So, who am I? 30 plus years in clinical practice, chiropractor, kinesiologist, clinical nutritionist, clinic director of the Natural Medicine Center in Houston, Texas. And I'm also a global functional medicine educator, having taught over 10,000 hours of continuing education seminars on over 6 different continents. So, let's start out with what fascia is. This researcher says fascia, quite simply, is the largest system in the body, and that it literally touches, and we might even say connects, every other system. So, what is it? It's basically connective tissue. It's layered through the skin and through the muscles. It wraps around a whole bunch of structures. And here's the final comment that I think is most important. Fascia not only holds everything together, but it actually has nerves that make it nearly as sensitive as skin. So that can be good for awareness of joint and connective tissue, but it can be bad in times of pain. So there are a lot of people out there that have fascia problems. In fact, I'll show you the next reference, about 85% of the general population. But when you treat your body, mind, and spirit right, when you eat right, drink right, think right, move right, sleep right, poop right, talk right every single day, you're going to develop healthy tissues throughout your body, including your fascia. And when you don't make the good choices, your fascia can actually begin to look like a bird's nest. It doesn't move fluidly. It causes challenges in motion, challenges with pain, challenges with inflammatory process. So you start looking at the myofascial pain market, and it's estimated that it will grow steadily over the course of the next decade. And again, about 85% of the population has some type of myofascial pain. Now, when you start looking at myofascial pain syndrome versus fibromyalgia, understand that fibromyalgia is like myofascial pain on steroids. It's much broader throughout the body. It's really, really chronic. And certainly it's associated with less overall health in the entire individual. So if we took someone that had a more serious problem and more pain in more places, well, maybe if something would help that, it could also be helpful for myofascial pain. And this study found that reishi, also known as Ganoderma lucidum, dramatically reduced the pain of fibromyalgia in 6 weeks. Now, for years, I was looking for something that would help these patients that really struggle. In the past with fibromyalgia, they were basically told they had a problem in their head. They were often given painkillers and antidepressants. And sadly, there was a time where this had a very high level of suicide. People didn't feel they had any answers. They certainly weren't getting any answers from their doctors. So reishi was one of those answers for these patients. How else does it help? It actually has 16 proven anti-inflammatory mechanisms. And by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't find more literally in the coming weeks, months, or years. We start looking at cellulite. This is something that I have a lot of patients that ask me questions about. And reality is cellulite's not a fat problem. It is a fascia problem. So I included a PubMed study here where they ultrasounded, hundreds of cases of cellulite, and they actually found out that 90+% had problems with the superficial fascia. The next 10 had problems with the deep fascia. And cellulite, who knew, a $1.4 billion a year market. If we can get that fascia better, we can make that cellulite better. So this particular researcher named 5 of the 7 as potential causes of fascia problems or unhealthy fascia. But he forgot talk right and poop right. So he did include eat right, drink right, think right, named them different things, move right, sleep right. But poop right, I promise you, if you're not getting rid of toxins, that's going to cause inflammation, which can have fascia problems. And talk right, every system in communication with every other system, and the fascia is the system that connects all of it. Now, if reishi, also known as Ganoderma, had a CV, where would you start with the 3,500 plus published medical studies? And here's what I tell people: look up a condition, look up reishi, and there's a great chance you're going to find a direct reference saying reishi is good for it. And by the way, no known toxicity, no known drug interaction with reishi. And if you understand physiology and health, you come to realize that reishi likely should be part of every single long lasting health enhancing protocol. Stress is a big player in myofascial pain and fibromyalgia and a lot of other problems in our bodies. And I had a patient that was really stressed, really struggling, had severe malnutrition, Camilla Hiller out of Sweden. You can look her up and our story there, but I gave her a stress reset. And she decided, you know what, Bob, this is so valuable. She got her life back with it. She wanted to take it to the world, but she wanted to make it easier, more delicious, more cost effective. And she's done that. So you may want information on our stress reset and or stress release. And part of that, we can use the best organic coffee in the world. The King of Coffee 2022 won that award. But we don't have the King of Coffee. We literally have something for every palate and every single health goal. And I always encourage people to try our one box experience. So here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. If someone sent you this video, reach back to them and say, can you help me with my one box experience? Or if it's me, if you're just finding me, ask me about my one box experience. And here's what I'll tell you. Sometimes changing your coffee can change your life, especially when you make a great change in the direction of the best organic coffee in the world. So what is fascia? It connects everything. It's everywhere in our bodies, and it's a source of problems for a whole bunch of people. How do you get better? You live better, you live healthier, you move better, you move healthier, and certainly you nourish your body, mind, and spirit with reishi. And as always, I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful.